Hello, anybody there? Hello. Morning. Hello. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, sir. Present.
Morning. You can hear me. Just switch off all your mics, please. Get all the background noise. Right before we start, I'm still waiting for other people. Somehow the system loaded up 2 lectures for us this morning. I just cancelled the one to get everybody onto the same meeting.
So while we're still waiting, have you considered doing the voiceovers instead for our DPE?
It's extremely difficult to explain these calculations because it's fairly complex. So that's going to be very difficult to explain it like that. That's the difficulty with it.
Complex.
Just switch off your open mic. Hello, are you there? So that's the difficulty. It's a lot of explaining, and that's the difficulty. And I must find out from you guys where you are still having difficulty. It's not easy just to put 1 or 2 short sentences to explain it. That's the difficulty. All right, can we start? Let me see if this camera wants to work today. Let's see if this camera, convince this camera to work today. Let's set that up quickly. My camera's on. Let's go to screen. And I go to this one. And where's my and can you see my hand in the paper? Can you see my hand in the paper?
No, sir, we can't see your hand.
Or the paper? Why is it not sharing with you? It's sharing with me again. There. And can you see it now? Can you see it now?
Now we can see your screen. Like we can
My
see
screen.
you instead of yeah.
I don't see me. I want you to see the piece of paper. So I can see the piece of paper now. All right. Now, what do you see now? You see the paper now?
There is a strip of paper, but it's not. You can't see if you wave your hand or anything. We can't see it in that way. It seems like just I don't know, like something that's pasted on the screen. If that makes sense. And it's not a whole page. It's just a strip.
A strip. Now what is going on? So you can't see my mouse and my orange calculator and that. You can't see that.
No, so we can't.
Now what is this? I can see the full screen now on my side. And now, you see the paper now?
Yes, now we can see the paper and the calculator.
Now, you tell me, why is this thing working now and it didn't work just now and I did exactly the same thing? And now it's working all of a sudden. Technology is temperamental. But where did we end last time? We must start with, we finished last time here on page, we must start on page 67 with filling under floor slabs. Am I right when I say that? Am I right when I say that? Yes? I'm assuming I'm correct. So if you look at the typical item of filling under solid floors of selected clean sand from off-site sources and consolidated layers not exceeding 200 millimeter thick. As a QS, you'll measure that in 200 in cubic meters, and then I'm giving you the information. The sand is costing 120 rand per cubic meter. The bulking factor is 10%, and I'm very nice. I'm giving you the labor constants for load, wheel, and deposit, because where the truck dumps the sand, somebody must go and pick up that sand and load it into a wheelbarrow and push the wheelbarrow to where it's required. Then it must be spread, leveled, and must be consolidated, compacted. And the last one is the sand must be watered. So that's your basic 3 steps that is involved in this process. You agree with me? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Hello?
We can hear you, sir.
Okay.
And we see you, but it's just that I wasn't responding because I'm a bit lost, and I feel like maybe someone else can answer those questions because I couldn't attend the last lecture.
Okay. All right. So then our sand. What's my rate for sand? It's 120, and it's 120. Now, if we buy sand, we buy it per cubic meter per truckload. That is bulk sand. When you as the QS measure the sand, you measure it as a net volume. So therefore, we must allow for bulking. So bulking is 10%, 120 times 10%. So my bulking factor on my sand is another 12 rand, because that's the sand that will go into bulking. You agree with that? Then our activities, and what's my rate for my laborer in this examples? We use 27.50. Am I right with 27.50? So my laborer earns 27.50. It takes 1.5 hours to load the sand into a wheelbarrow and actually move the sand to where it's required. So it's 1.5 times 27.5. So he gets, that's costing me 41 rand and 25 cent. And then it's another 1.5 hours to spread, level, and consolidate. So the rate is again 27 rand 50 cents. So it will be again 41.25. And the reason that these two figures are the same is purely coincidental. There's no reason why they should be the same. Then you must allow for bulking on the last two items. So it's 41.25 plus 41.25 is 82.50 times 10%. So that means bulking factor on these last two items will be another 8 rand and 25 cents. Because the person that must bring in 10% more sand, and he must level 10% more sand, and he must compact 10% more sand. So therefore, that's costing another 825 cents in labor. Now I must get to the watering of the actual material. And what is our information that is given on watering? For watering, we have a labor constant of 20 square meters per hour. So therefore, total time over total production. What's my total time? 1 hour. What's my total production? 20 square meters. That equals 0.05 hours per meter square for watering. But now, how do I treat my watering here? My watering is measured in square meters, but my filling is measured in cubic meters. So if I've got if I take my meter and I cut it in slices, how many slices will I get? I take my 200 divided by 1,000. So that means there's 5 square meter to a cubic meter. So therefore, if I take my 0.05 times 5, that equals 0.25 hours per cubic meter. So therefore, my labor constant to water 1 cube of water will be 0.25 hours. You're all happy on my calculation here at the bottom, how I arrived at that? You're all happy at how I arrived at my layers and my labor constant for the watering? Talk to me, anybody? Can I go on?
I only joined now because I couldn't find the meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, can we go on?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so therefore my labor rate remains 27.50 Rand per hour times 0.25. So that's another 6.88 Rand for watering. So that gives me a total of 120 plus 12, 41.25 plus 41.25 plus 8.25 plus 6.88. 229.63. You concur that answer? You concur in the answer of 229.63. Overheads 20% times 0.2. That's 4 Rand 82 plus equals 254.45 times 0.1 equals 23. plus equals 257. My rate is 257 and 90 cents. You concur on that? Or don't you concur? Right, you happy with that one? Can we move on to the next one?
Yes, sir, can move on.
Move on, right. Right, then the next one we're looking at, well, excavating in clay ground for column bases, 2 meters deep, not exceeding 2, not exceeding 4, and set aside for filling. Now, these categories, why do we have these categories in when we do excavations? And where's this 2 meter thing coming from? Why are we saying not exceeding 2, exceeding 2, not exceeding 4, 4, not 6, and so we go on? Where's this coming from? This is actually coming from that when a person digs a trench, he can throw the material to a height of 2 meters. If you take an average person, 1.6 to 1.8 meters long, plus the length of a spade, so that person can reach 2 meters with relatively ease. So that's where the 2 meter category comes from. So that's the idea that a person digs a trench and he can throw the material up for 2 meters. Now what happens if the person must dig a trench that's deeper than 2 meters? Now when you worked on a site in your second year, did you ever have to do excavations that's deeper than 2 meters? And what must you do then to get the material out? You actually have to build some sort of stage in the excavation, and that means one person throws up the first 2 meters, and then the second person must handle the soil again. So therefore, you must allow a factor for that, and normally rule by thumb is you allow 1.5 per stage. So you allow 50% extra for the stage, the deeper it goes. Again, what happens in practice quite often, if you must start digging trenches that this deep, it becomes risky. Also, it becomes very awkward work. And in most cases, you actually change to mechanical means when you start digging deeper trenches. And for that, if you use mechanical means to dig, it's not really going to make a difference in the actual cost and the operation of the machine. So again, you must look at or consider what you're going to use when you actually do your excavations. Then the second thing in this example is that when we dig in different types of soil, they've got different characteristics. If you have something like damp sand, you can use an ordinary spade. You don't even need a pick, and you can excavate quite easily. Then we're getting into gravel. That's harder. Clay is harder. Heavy clay, this real sticky stuff. Softer scale, like you often get in summer strand. Then we get soft rock and hard rock. And here is an indication of the factor. Clay that is softish is about 25% more. Gravel is 50% more. Heavy clay, the sticky stuff, is about 75% more. Soft shale is about double. Soft rock is between 3 and 4 times, and hard rock is between 6 and 10 times. And in a lot of cases, people actually confuse soft rock and hard rock. Hard rock is when you must use mechanical means to break it, per definition. So there you can go up to 10 times the actual allowable for excavations. What you must be aware of as an estimator, you must look at how is the ground described, and you must price accordingly to that, and then you can adapt your labor constant to allow the person doing the work additional time. If we start getting into scale and soft rock, it's actually not feasible to do it by manual means. It becomes much more economical to actually do it by mechanical means. Because a person will sit there and battle to break rocks. It's frustrating. It's not productive, and you can apply your labor in a more productive way. So also consider what you're busy doing, and is it really feasible to do it by means of manual labor. Then we're getting into page 69, where we look at our excavation or carting away. Typical item you'll see in a bill: extra overall excavations for carting away surplus excavated material to a dump site determined by contractor. So you as the contractor must find a suitable dump site to dispose of the material. And this is some given information. Time to load, lorry, hand loading. Is your note still saying 0.5 or 1.5? Right, change that to 1.5, please. So your time to load the lorry is 1.5 hours. Then the traveling time to tip to go and dump the material is 0.3 hours. To offload the material is 0.1 hours. To travel back is 0.25 hours. Was a vehicle, a truck, when it's under load, normally travels slower than when it's empty. And then your truck capacity is 5 cubic meters. But that 5 cubic meters is measured as bulk material. Because when you load the material onto a truck, that material is bulk. Then also the cost of the truck is 450 Rand per hour. I'm giving you that. And we're working at a bulking factor of 25%. And the labor constant for loading is 1 hour per cubic meter of bulk material. All happy with the information? All happy with the information? Right, now where do you start with this? Where do we start with this? Let's start first at the easy part. And now we must look at what's our times here. So we must now calculate what will be my duration. So what is my total duration to load my truck, travel to the tip, to return, ready to be loaded again? What's my total time for my truck there? Based on the given information, how long will it take my truck to do a one round trip? What will the duration be of that? Any answer? What will the duration be for my truck for a round trip? My truck to load, travel to the tip, discharge this load and travel back to the site, ready to be loaded along again. What will the duration be for that? Anybody? Not all at once.
24 minutes, sir. Oh, wait.
No, not 24 minutes. It takes 1.5 hours to load it, 0.3 hours traveling there, 0.1 hours to discharge the load, and 0.25 hours traveling back to site. How long will that be in total? $2.15 hours. You agree with that?
Yes, sir. 2 hours, 15 minutes.
No, not 2 hours, 15 minutes. No.
Oh. Okay. 2 hours, 9 minutes.
No, it's 2.15 hours.
Okay.
Be very careful when we start working with time. You can work with 0.5 hours or 30 minutes. Be very careful if you're working with decimals with time, no problem with it. And remember, it's out of 60 and not out of 100 as per normal. So it is 2.15 hours is the total duration. And it's not 2 hours and 15 minutes. It's 2.15 hours. So just be very much aware of that.
So now, so is it 2 hours, 9 minutes?
Let's see. Yeah, right. 9 minutes. But you're going to confuse yourself. Don't do it like that. You're going to confuse yourself forever. Stick to decimals in this case. Otherwise, you're going to just confuse yourself. Right, so let's start with the easy part. Loading. My labor constant is 1 hour per cube. So it's 5. So the truck takes 5 cubes. It's 5 times 1 is 5 hours, 27 rand 50. 5 times 27 rand 50 equals 137.50. You agree with that? Yes? You agree with my 5 hours by 27.50? You concur on that answer? Then my truck is taking 2.15 hours at 450 rand per hour. That's 2.15 times 450. That will give me 967 and 50 cents from the cost of my truck. $967.50. You concur on that?
Yep.
Right. So that means 967.50 plus 137.5 equals 1105. So for me to remove one load of rubble will cost me 1,105 rand. concur on that?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, I'm going to start a confusion again. How much material did we actually cart away? We carted away 5 cubic meters of material on the truck. You agree with that? So there the truck went off your site, it had 5 cubes of material on it. You agree with that? How is that material that's on the truck there? That is bulk material. And we know in this case our bulking factor is 25%. It's given to you. So when the QS measured for carting away, how did the QS measure? How did the QS measure? QS measured net. So therefore, you as the contractor is getting paid on a net volume of the material that's carted away. So now that means you must debulk your material. So when the material is bulked, it's taken at 125%. Because that is 100%. 100% plus 25% bulking. So that equals 125%. So then, if I take my 5 cubic meters I carted away, and I go and divide that by my 125, and I times it by 100%, that will equals 4 cubic meters. So that means the actual material that was carted away is only 4 cubic meters. So therefore, if I take my 1105, I must go and divide that by 4 to get my rate per cube. So therefore, my rate for 1 cube will be 276 Rand and 25 cents. And it's very important that you actually get your heads around this piece here that I did on the bulking. Where my bulking factor is 25%. So therefore, the QS measures at 100%. My bulking is 25%. So therefore, the material I work with is the 125% value. The 125% value is the same as my 5 cubic meters of truck. So therefore, I divide it by 125 and times by 100. The same what you do if you must do VAT. When you guys do accounting, have you done the VAT-ing of prices yet?
No, not yet, sir.
Not yet. We've done VAT-ing in our plant calculations already. Same principle applies. So in effect, I'm going to get paid for 4 cubes of material being carted away. That's what I'm being paid for. And that is why I must divide it by 4 and my rate must be 276. I cannot divide it by 5, the volume of my truck. Because as the QS, you measure net and the contractor must make provision for the bulking factors on the material. Happy with that?
Yes, sir.
Alright, let me calculate our net rate quickly. 76.25 times 0.2. 55.25 is my overhead. Plus equal 351.50. I add my profit of 15%. Another 49 Rand and 72 cents plus equals 381 and 13 cents, 12 cents. So there's my rate I put in the bill is 381 rand and 12 cents, excluding VAT. You concur on that? All happiness. Can we move to number next?
Yes, sir, we can move on to the next.
No questions, everybody happy here? Right. Now the next one is, I'm only going to start with this one because I'm going to cause mass confusion now again. This piece always causes mass confusion that we have. And I'll first start off with the piece that normally causes the most hassles here. Now, when you measure the risk of collapse as the QS, you will measure the risk of collapse to size of excavation not exceeding 1.5 meter, and so your categories move along. So now, it's up to you as the contractor to decide what steps must you take. How much you design your planking for shoring up the sides. And every contractor has got their own idea. What I normally do is I will use old shutters that's too bent and damaged to be used for shuttering anymore. When I'm getting into bad ground, I normally use that to retain the soil because the face is not important anymore. But traditionally, you actually manufacture your shoring from timber. And then you as a contractor must come up with a design. But before we get into the design, and tomorrow we're going to get into the design, we must first look at the costing of timber. Now I'm telling you, SSAP M8 is costing me 5,700 rand per cube, cut and delivered. Now, what will the cost be for a piece of timber that is 3 meters long by 38 by 114, a very common timber size. So what will the cost be for that piece of timber? What will my cost be for that piece of timber? My timber rate is 5,700 rand per cube. That is SSA pine M8, delivered, cut, built. I've got a piece of timber 3 meters long by 38 by 114. Very common timber size, you agree? What will my cost be of that piece of timber? Answer? Anybody? £74 and 8 cents. Now, how do you calculate your timber price? And this is a very easy way to actually price timber, because otherwise it saves you getting all the hassle. When I'm pricing a job, I get the price from my sawmill based on the cost per cube of timber, and then I go and calculate my own timber prices. It just saves you such a lot of time. If I'm taking a piece of timber 5.7 meters long by 50 by 228, also a fairly common size, what will the cost of that piece of timber be? So how much you go about to calculate the cost of this timber? You must first calculate the volume of timber in that piece. So I calculate the volume of my 5.7 meters by 50, and what does 50 become? 0.05 by 0.228. Now, what will that volume give me? What will that volume be of that timber? That will be 0.06498 cubic meters times 5,700, and that piece of timber will cost me 370 rand and 39 cents.
So why did you times it there by 1,700?
That's my rate for per cube of timber. It's 5,700. That's the cost of my timber. That's the cost of my timber. So now with this information, I can give you any size, standard size of timber, and you should be able to price it. Right? What? I should do another one to explain.
Sir?
Yes.
How did we get the 74.08? The first one that we did.
3 times. Hey. Three meters, 38 is 0.038 times 0.114. So it's 3 times 0.038 times 0.114 equals 0.012996 times 5,700, and that is 70, and that actually works out 74 rand 0.077. So that means it becomes 74 rand and 8 cents.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
All right. Let's have another practice run. 6 meters by 38 by 228. What will the cost be for that piece of timber? Right, what's your cost for that timber?
I'm getting 296.31.
I tend to agree with you. 296.31. I tend to concur with your answer. I tend to concur with your answer. Are you all getting that answer? 296.31. You're all getting that answer?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right, all happy. Right, let's do another practice run here. And we say we've got a piece of timber that is 3.2 meters long by 50 by 228. Same information. What will the cost be of that piece of timber? Who's got an answer for me? Right, who's got an answer for us on this one? My 3.2 by 50 by 228. How much will that piece of timber be? Not all at once.
I'm getting 207.94.
And unfortunately, I'm going to tell you that's wrong. But I'm giving you 10 out of 10 for trying. But your answer is incorrect. Who wants to try another answer for us for that one?
What's the size again, sir?
3.2 meters long by 50 by 228. So let's go. 3.2 meters long by 50 by 228. What will the cost be of that piece of timber?
Um, 207,90,93.
Unfortunately, again, you get a 10 for trying, but your answer is incorrect.
Oh no.
What is the problem?
You can only buy wooden 3 meters.
3 point, right. You buy your timber in 3.3 increments. So if I need a piece of timber of 3.2 meters long, what must I actually go and buy? 3 by 50 by 228 must go and buy, and that's going to cost me 214 and 43 cents. See, there's a problem. So this is where you must be wide awake. In that you must, whenever you see timber, you must always take timber to the next standard size. Also in timber, we can never round off mathematically. We must always round off up. Because if you want to round off 3.2 mathematically, what will it become? 3 meters. Will a 3 meter timber work where we require a 3.2 meter? It's going to fall through. It's already too short. So that means you must always work to the next size up. So you as a contractor, you're going to pay 214 Rand for that piece of timber, and 100 mil is going to be cut off, and that's going to end up as waste. But because you can't buy a 3.2 meter piece, so therefore you must charge your client also for a 3.3 meters piece of timber. Otherwise, you're going to lose money. And this is where you as an estimator must be very much wide awake. Right, are you all feeling comfortable about calculating timber costs and timber prices now?
Sir, could you show me where we get that 5,700 again?
I gave it to you as a cost. I gave it to you. I'm giving you that as a cost for my timber.
Okay, then page 17. Okay.
No, it's just written on the top of it. I just wrote it in there for a note because that's the price. That's the price that I got from my supplier on timber per cube.
Okay, that's per cube. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Thank you.
That's my cost for the timber per cube. But this is just a nice, easy way. Instead of having hundreds and hundreds of prices for all your different sizes of timber, now you get one price from your supplier or the mill, and now you can actually go and calculate all the timber pricing very easy for you. It just saves you so much time and effort to go look up the prices. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop here, and then when I see you guys tomorrow, we actually want us to go on with the risk of collapse part of the calculation. Because I first want you to get your heads around the piece we did today and get your heads around that. So is there any questions on the part that the piece that we've done so far today? You all happy with that?
So on the timber part, you said you can only buy in 3.3 increments.
Yes.
But the first one we calculated it as only 3 meters. Aren't we supposed to say 3.3 as well?
Yes, but no. How does standard timber sizes work?
Every 3 meters.
No, every 300. Every 300. So your standard sizes starts at 900. Most merchants stock from about 2.1. But if you've got a 1.8, 2.1, 2.4, 2.7, 3, 3.3, 3.6, 3.9, 4.2, 4.5, and so we go on. 5.2, 5.4, 5.7, 6 meters. So that's your standard increments. You still remember that from first year?
That's there.
So you must learn, you must remember, you must know your standard timber sizes. And so that's why a 3 meter is fine, because you can buy a 3 meter piece of timber. That's no problem. So that's perfectly fine. All the 3, the 5.7, and the 6 meters is standard timber size I actually gave you. The 3.2, I was a bit naughty in that I didn't give you a standard size timber, because there I wanted you to actually pick up. And the 3.2 is a non-standard timber. You must actually go to a 3.3 and then go and calculate the cost of a 3.3 piece of timber. Although you only need a 3.2 meter piece.
Okay, sir, thank you.
Go and look in your how-to of building. Have you still got your how-to of building? That first year technology.
Yes,
Go and look at that. There's a nice explanation in that book on the standard sizes of timber. Right.
Okay, sir.
Any more questions? Any more questions?
Yes, the previous page. Can we please the form is I don't understand. How did we get it on the bulking calculated?
The bulking for the truck. Are we talking about the bulking for the cart away exercise? This one I'm showing here. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yes, that's one. Say yes.
All right. You happy with that first line? The 5 hours to load. You happy with that?
Yes.
And you happy with the truck's time of the 2.15? You know where the 2.15 hours came from?
Yes, sir.
Right. But you want to find out where did that 4 cubes come from?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, in my given information, I'm telling you that my material is bulking at 25%. You agree? You see that?
Yes, sir. I do.
Right. when you load the material on the truck, that is bulk material. You concur?
Yes, sir.
All right. So now, the material I load on the truck will be 100% plus 25% bulk. So that will be 125 material. You agree with that?
Yes, sir.
So therefore, my 5 cubic meters of material I load on the truck is 125 material. You agree with that?
Yes, sir.
So therefore, if I take my 5 cubes of material, divided by my 125, times by 100 to get back to my measured material. When that truck leaves the gate with 5 cubes of material loaded onto the truck, I'm actually getting paid for carting away 4 cubic meters of unbulked material. And that's why I must take the cost of my truck, although the truck is leaving with 5 cubes of material on the truck. I'm only getting paid for 4 because I'm getting paid for unbulked material. And the truck is carting bulk material. And that is why my volume works out to 4 cubes. So although 5 cubes is going off-site, that's 5 cubed bulk material, and it's 4 cubed unbulked material. And that's where that's coming from. And this is something you must actually get your head around. Is that explaining it to you?
Yes, sir. But if they are paying you for 4 cubic meters and they end up paying you because you are doing 5 cubic meters, you are cutting away 5 meters.
Yes, but when you measure material to be carted away as a QS, how do you measure that?
And bulk.
Now you measure it as net.
Yes.
If you have an excavation, say of excavate and pickable material and cart away excavated material, 1 cubic meter to excavate, 1 cubic meter to be carted away. You agree with that? Wearing a QS hat. But now, when the contractor must cart that material away, he's working with bulk material. So that means he must actually carting away more than a cube of material. In this case, he will be carting away 1.25 cubes of material. But because it's bulk material. But you as the QS, you still measure unbulked material. And that's where the big difference comes in. That's where the big difference comes in. And you must get, when a QS measures, the QS always measures net material, unbulked. When you as a contractor buys material, sand that can be carted in, that comes to site as bulk, you must unbulk it. When you excavate, you dig material out of the ground, that material is unbulked. When you dig it, it becomes bulk material. When you cart it away, it becomes bulk material. When your and general employee on site must move that material, he must work with bulk material. So, and that's why I'm saying this bulking thing is still going to become a headache and it's going to stay with us. It plays a big role when we're working with concrete mixers. It plays a big role when we're working with plastering, with brickwork. So it's important you actually get your head around this bulking factor. Whenever we disturb soil, it becomes more. The QS always measures net. When we cart something, handle something, it's bulk, but we're getting paid for it at the net volume. Is that answering your question?
Yes, it does answer my question.
Right. Any more questions? Any more questions? No more. Right at the beginning, I had this question of why don't I just do a little voiceover on some slides for this? This is why it's so difficult just to do a voiceover, because different people have got difficulties in different areas of this work, and I need to find out where are you batting to explain to you to actually help you, and that's why we're still doing pricing, call it the old school way with live presentations like this. It will be much easier for me as well to tell you, there's your slides, off you go, there's a bit of a voiceover, but it's going to be very difficult for you guys, even more so. And that's why we're doing it, call it the old-fashioned way here, of still doing live presentations like this. But you must talk to me. What's the feeling of the rest of the group?
We'll carry on doing it like this, sir.
Are you happy with that?
Yes, sir.
Good. Then I'm going to say bye for time being. There's no more questions.
I think Zara had a question, sir.
Zara, fire away.
No, I was going to say I think it's better this way.
Okay, that's better. Good. Then we stick to this method. I suppose you guys will also be off to go and stand in the tops line now to get some beers as well.
Not even interested in that part, sir.
Not interested?
Not even interested in that part.
I can't hear you breaking up.
I'm not interested in that part at the bottle store, sir.
Not?
I can wait a week.
You wait a week, okay. Big mouth, huh? Alright.
I don't drink anymore.
Also not less, I suppose, eh?
It became too expensive, so I stopped, and we had a good time now.
Well, I must say, we went through all the old stuff here in the liquor cabinet that had been standing there for ages, that we never touched. So yes.
Yeah.
But what I will schedule us another session tomorrow morning as well, for us to move along with this. I've got your test also just about sorted, and I will inform you about your test or your TAT, whatever you call it as well. Right, enjoy, stay healthy, and I'll talk to you guys again tomorrow. Right, goodbye.
Bye, Sal.
Okay, bye.